wild.
Can you explain what's happening here?
So I know you guys have probably seen plenty of our episodes where we're talking about buildings falling down in China because the bad building quality.
Tofu drag construction.
Tofu drag construction. This time we are talking about intentional destruction. I'm not talking about intentional destruction of old buildings.
Yeah.
I'm talking about intentional widespread destruction of brand new buildings, right? This is something that's getting out of control, and this particular story is pretty interesting. I'm going to read through it real quick.
Okay, I'm going to show... Can I show the footage first? Everybody take a look. So here you see buildings being demolished.
In Guangzhou.
Okay? Yeah, so you're thinking, all right, these are just brand new. I mean, these could be buildings. But then look at this time lapse. Okay, have you never seen... You've probably seen these time lapses before. China puts out this propaganda where they're like, oh, we built this building in like 80 days.
Yes, this is, and it's a big propaganda campaign right now.
Yeah, they do it. Like, look how fast.
It's for investment attraction.
Yeah, exactly. So 80 days they build this, and guess what? They demolished it in 10 days.
So listen to this.
Yeah,
a key state-owned project. This wasn't some like bullshit little private enterprise.
Sure.
A key state-owned project in Guangzhou built 7 buildings in 80 days. This was a widespread propaganda campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
The reason they do this is to say, hey, look, if you want something done, get it done here. Are you sick of the red tape bureaucracy in your country? Are you sick of the partisan politics? Are you sick of this? Sick of OSHA? Are you sick of your building? You know, all this kind of stuff. Get your stuff done in China. And that can, it's not just about buildings. It's about products. It's about production lines. It's everything, right? And it was a big propaganda campaign. It's called 7 Buildings in 80 Days.
Yeah.
They were demolished in 10.
Yeah.
They fully demolished them. The reason is the Bay Area... And
by the way, can China stop just trying to copy? Like, I'm sorry, but there was like the Sanya is the Hawaii of China. Now they've got the Bay Area of China. Come on, don't copy America's Bay Area.
One of China's biggest, most important features, and if you're studying China, learn this, is this new Bay Area they're trying to do. They're trying to take this part of Guangdong where there's like 80 to 100 million people in this tiny little area and absorb and basically take all the cities and then put them all together, like Dongguan and Shenzhen and Guangzhou, and put them all as one. Yeah. And they're calling it the Bay Area. They are hiring so many foreign white monkey shills. Yeah. Flying them over there and getting them to do tons of propaganda. We've been tracking it for a couple of years now.
Yeah, yeah.
China's got a high, like 10 out of 10 priority on this project. Huge money involved, right? It's massive. This area is something to pay attention to, but this particular project was near Chentian Garden in Baiyun District. This is Guangzhou's...
Yeah, Baiyun is a big... That's where the airport is.
Yes, it's where money happens, right? This is a big deal. They built 7 buildings within 80 days, demolished them in just 10 days. The project was once listed as a state-owned science and technology innovation project, and that's another propaganda push.
You're getting tired of these, by the way. Yeah. Oh, smart city.
Yes.
You know, high-end innovation, tech hub, green technology, energies, you know, droids or whatever.
Droids!
You know what I mean?
Roberts.
Yeah, exactly.
I've just about had enough of you. Be malfunctioning within a day, you nearsighted scrap pile.
It was once listed as state-owned science and technology innovation project of the district's key projects. The staff said that the procedures for the building were not completed. Okay, so actually what happened was, when you dig into it, they ran out of money again. The government keeps taking on these massive, massive projects, and then they run out of the funds to do so because they bite off more than they can chew, and it turns out it was just for the footage. It was just to attract investment elsewhere. It doesn't matter about these buildings. It doesn't matter about the concrete.
And you know what? For them, it's better to knock it down because that means they can build something new and get more investment. So they screw over a bunch of investors. They screw over everyone. They get all their propaganda wins. They knock it down. Now they can build something new, rinse and repeat.
Yes.
You know?
So what's interesting is that this is not the first time this has been happening.
No, we've seen this before.
This has been happening across China. So you've heard about the housing crisis. Yeah. You've heard about the housing bubble, the building boom.
Yeah, right? Take a look. This is another example.
These are brand new buildings that just weren't able to they weren't able to finish them.
Yeah, basically. They couldn't complete them, so they just sat like in an incomplete state for a while until they were like, okay, well, we'll just... The land they're on is too valuable. We can sell it to another developer, so let's knock them down.
The problem is people put their money into these.
Yes.
They bought these.
That is the problem is before they break ground, by the way, they already have their investment.
Yes.
So when a new project opens in China, they'll have a big thing like an event. Remember, we had a friend who used to go play guitar at these events.
Yes.
And so they have a big event. They bring the investors in. They have a big, like, a little model city. Then they'll have, like, plans and everything. People rush in and they buy them all because they know it's a good investment in China.
Yes.
At least it always used to be. So they've already bought and put their deposits down on all the apartments to get bought out. Then they break ground. So they haven't even broken ground yet. So they've already got everyone's money. Then they start to build. Then they run out of money. They have a hitch or whatever. Then they usually just leave it, and the people that have the money run away.
That's true.
Then the thing stands empty and then gets knocked down, so a new person can come in, and new company can build something new.
Even if it does get finished, this is often what happens.
Yeah, it's shedding season. Take a look.
It's shedding season in China when the buildings shed.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I don't know.
This is a rather new building that's demolished.
Yeah, well, this is just one of those, like, hey, we got to make space to build a new one. So I wanted to show China's state-of-the-art demolishing techniques.
Before you do that, can you just point out this is the most Chinese scene in the world?
Yes.
Can you point out the details? Let's see if you guys can spot this.
Yeah, so we've got the sticker... Can you see the, like, rat? If you look above the car, you'll see the, like, ratty sticker advertisements
for some crime
and handwritten stuff. You got the bundle of crappy wires not going anywhere.
Yes.
You know, you've
Rubble.
got. I think you can notice the surveillance camera that's keeping an eye on you everywhere. The rubble, the concrete.
Is there
the tiles?
Is there a red truck there?
Yeah, there's a red something or other over there. Yeah, I think it's pretty much on point.
There is one thing that isn't very China.
Blue sky.
The blue sky. And that's what I wanted to point out. That is a beautiful, rare sight.
Anyway, we wanted to show you China's cutting-edge demolition techniques.
Okay.
So I'll get us out of here and we'll just play this so you can see.
You guys can figure out if you figure
Yeah, anyway, moving on. Yeah, what's going on here?
Look at this. Look at that. That is a skyscraper. This is like art. So people have been sharing this around a little bit.
Yeah, I think this is from a while ago.
Yes.
I did see it before.
The reason it's going around is that people are trying to say, are you now glad that you bought a skyscraper? And this is interesting, Buzzer. This is why it's interesting that it's been going around, because Chinese people are being told by the government that they have enough and, like, don't worry about getting rich anymore. The economy's clearly slowing down.
Big time.
And it was interesting to see this post kind of proliferate and be allowed to proliferate, because they don't allow showing destruction and bad quality buildings, that kind of stuff. This is allowed to proliferate, and because the people's discussion around this were like, oh, actually, I'm glad I don't live in, like, a fancy high building.
Sure.
And I think it's being allowed to proliferate on purpose.
Think so?
I think the government's at least leaving it alone a little bit, because then it's like, oh, then I don't have my ambitions set too high. Right? Maybe I do want to live in my crappy little mud hut in the countryside. Sure. Because the government wants you to be happy with that right now. Amidst the turmoil.
That could be it.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It was a hectic thing. This is interesting.
Take a look. So this guy goes fishing, right? He's like a fishing blogger or whatever. Yeah. He's underneath this bridge, which is obviously a highway bridge again. And just look at the support there. I mean, that's Tofu drag once again. This is a highway that presumably has the usual traffic, trucks and cars, and that's why you often see, like, these things fail and people go into the river, they go into the drink. It's not good, right?
Yeah.
Again, this just ties into the whole Tofu Drake thing. I'm pretty sure this guy's gotten a warning by now, because he shared this, and this was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Right?
This is why. Look at
that.
And it's not that old, by the way.
No.
This bridge is not that old.
It's it's pretty disturbing.
Just from the we're going to be experts on concrete at this point.
Yeah.
Would you say this is due to the poor concrete mixture with the salt and stuff in it, maybe?
Absolutely. They cut so many corners. They don't use the right aggregate. They don't use the right cement. They don't use the right anything. It's just get her done. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The Romans had better concrete.
Yeah.
And literally they did. They actually did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very sad.
China has used so much concrete, it's insane. And we know the stats. It's like more than the rest of the world's used in 100 years. They used in like 1 year or something. Okay, they just pour concrete like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they just do it poorly. And we've seen the rebar is bad, everything's bad. So this is an inevitable result.
This rebar is a hero right now.
Yeah, it's holding this entire bridge up.
Man. I mean, I hope they sort it. They
Dude,
sort this
you
out.
don't know the other pillars because, they're covered with water, but like underneath, it could be the same.
You are true.
It could be the bridge holding the supports up, not the other way around.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's
That's
happening.
like chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
That's wild, though.
Yeah. But
Yeah, so it's not so related to this building thing, right?
yeah.
These guys are protesting, and I won't say what they're threatening. I won't say it.
They're threatening to not be up there anymore.
Yeah, they're threatening to not be up there anymore, okay? Because what happened was, this is in Henan, in Luoyang. Remember we talked about the bank protests and all this kind of stuff? Like, people go into ATMs, they can't even get their money out.
Yeah.
They go to the bank and they're like, where's my loan? They can't get their loan money. They can't do... They've lost access to their bank accounts.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Huge financial crisis in China, especially in Henan province, where 80-something million people live. So in Luoyang, in this city that keeps getting a ton of propaganda pushed at it, by the way, tons of Luoyang propaganda.
Yeah,
everywhere.
we see it coming out of China all the time.
These guys bought a bunch of houses, right? Bought a bunch of apartments, right?
Yeah.
Promised delivery in 2022, so we're talking 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Have not received it. So this ties fully back to what we were showing you. You get buildings that fall down because it's bad construction, bad concrete. You get buildings that the cladding flies off and it's absolute trash and you don't want to live there.
Happened to my wife's building.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get buildings that get demolished because they run out of money and they can't finish them.
Yeah.
And then you get situations like this where the homes were never built to begin with after they've already given money.
Yeah, this is called a rotten tail project.
Yes.
And sometimes they can be in any state of completion, like maybe they've built the main structure or they've built a little bit of it or whatever. And then they're supposed to have delivered. Now, can you imagine that you have, for the first time, bought a house, or it's an apartment in this case, which you can't really own. It's kind of a lease, but but you've put your entire family, your entire extended family's life savings into buying this house because they're expensive. They're like, you don't understand how expensive these houses are compared to the rest of the world.
Oh yeah,
stupid
it's
expensive
dumb. Compared to your salary.
And compared to people's salaries, it's insane. So you need like generations of family to all club together to put the deposit down, right? So you buy this thing and you're promised a date when you can move in, and then 3 years later, after the date, you still can't move in. What do? You end up like these guys standing on a roof demanding that something gets done. It's an awful situation, and nothing will be done. They've lost their money.
Yes.
And in all likelihood, that building will just be demolished so a new one can be put down.
Yep.
So
it says stalled project has been listed on the guaranteed delivery roster. They'll tell that to these guys.
Yep.
The authorities have prohibited public oversight on the pre-sale funds regulatory account information. Home buyers, fearing the risk of another stalled project, have resorted to shouting slogans from rooftops and threatening to
not be on the roof anymore.
Ground level.
Yeah, exactly.
The Luoyang Jianye Dacheng Xiaoyuan project was originally scheduled for delivery on June 30th, 2022, but has now been severely delayed for over 3 years, with a project in a long state of suspension and still undelivered. However, some buildings are already showing some quality issues. According to spontaneous statistics by homeowners, the project sales rate had exceeded 90%, right?
Yeah.
But due to lack of oversight, the developer had misappropriated and diverted sales funds on a large scale, leading to a broken construction funding chain and the project stalling. I mean, these are verbose ways of saying this is literally happening across the country.
This is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
He said 90%. So think about it. These gardens, as they're called, Huayuan, you've got a number of buildings in there. Like, say you've got 4 or 5 buildings, right? Each of them has about 30 plus floors.
Yes.
And on every floor you have, say, 10
22.
apartments. Yeah, it's 20. You'll have, like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 apartments, depending on the size of the building. 90% of those apartments have already been sold.
Yes.
So they already have 90% of their money, but they misappropriated the funds. And this is what they always do. They're like, okay, it's like a Ponzi scheme. They'll take that money to start a new project somewhere else, to buy land from or lease land from the government and get a new set of investors. So they keep doing this. And they end up screwing over the people that put their money down to buy those apartments. It's awful.
So get this.
Yeah.
The government has refused inquiries. Okay, do you know why?
Why?
They cited commercial confidentiality. And courts, when the people have tried to go to court with us, right? The courts have declined to accept their cases, citing the project is already included in the guaranteed delivery scope. They're saying everything's going according to plan, so get out of here. You have no rights in China.
You've got nothing. And I can't stand these people who somehow think that China's the answer.
Yeah.
If you are anyone who has the ambition to ever make anything out of your life, you ever want to own something, you ever want to build a family, you want to build a life, you want to buy a house, you want to have, the rights to just be yourself, and China's not the place for you.
No.
Because, look at this situation. You've already paid.
Yeah.
You've been promised a date. Even the government's promised you a date. Nothing is being happened. Your money was stolen. You can't move into your house. And guess what? You're still paying your mortgage.
Yep.
While this is all going on. Every month you've been paying it for the last 3 years. Even longer. Even before they got to that date. And for what?
Honey, I can't wait to move into our new future home.
Yeah.
You won't. It'll get demolished.
Yeah, and now you're just going to basically be homeless and out of your entire family's life
Do you know
savings.
what happens if you try to move into the empty husk, by the way? We've shown that.
Yeah.
A woman goes, I paid for this. This is my empty husk of an apartment. If it's not going to be finished, I'm still going to live here.
Yeah.
She walked up to her floor, and she got arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, we showed that. It's just, it's a horrible situation. So you're left in debt and you have nothing.
Yes. I mean, again, I think the most important takeaway from that is that if that one thing that we just showed is that's happening across the country.
And it has been for the longest time.
Yeah.
I mean, we've shown some of this stuff similar in the past.
It's gonna pop. It's gonna freaking pop.
Because, what are the people going to do?
Yeah.
The people that have already lost all of their life savings investing in a property that was never delivered, they cannot buy another one.
Yes.
They don't have the money anymore.
Yes.
So, this Ponzi scheme has to reach a finite end.
Yes.
I remember you left my spirit, with you high is all I'm feeling. Remember.
Northern stereotypes. What's our picture of the day that you took?
This is one of those super annoying touts.
The ladies can be plump and pale,
Okay.
having curvy figures, and are very trendy compared to the rest of China. The ah in the end there is completely unnecessary.
We got up and rode all the way down to the border of North Korea, quickly filmed stuff, and got out of there before anyone really noticed we were there.
The people are much bigger up north.
Eating a freaking animal where it's staring at you is kind of unnerving. I'd prefer not to.